Hello and welcome to the Adventure Archive. My name is Ryan and I will be your dungeon master this evening as we continue our adventures in the Dark Kingdoms. With me, as always, we have Matt as Victor of the Calder, the human death cleric, Jess as Dariana Bloodright, the elf-marked Seraphage sorceress, Jason as Cutter the Faceless, the Darakul rogue duelist, and Eric as Sylvester, the Dampier warlock, with his spine devil familiar Annie. We are missing our wonderful player friend DM Andy this evening, who plays Beatum Davelbreen, our gnome divination wizard. Hope to have him back next week. We'll see what happens. But yes, the Dark Kingdoms takes place in the Midgard setting, which is published by Kobold Press. So you will notice some differences in some of the races, classes, features, and whatnot. And also, please be aware, this is an evil campaign containing evil-aligned characters in a dark fantasy setting, and as such, may not be suitable for everybody. Graphic descriptions of gore, murder, mutilation, self-mutilation, torture, the list goes on, are pretty common. So if that's not your thing, this might not be the place for you. So just lurk. So yes, hello everybody. How is it going? We have a Sursa in the chat. Oh my gosh, we already got stuff going on with blesses.
Yeah, Janelle blessed me.
Friggin' Janelle. From now on, I'm just gonna make a thing that you can't drop any points in any part of any stream if you're on another stream. That's the rule.
I know I have 75,000
Yeah,
points
what are we
right
gonna
now.
do with all our points?
Sit on them and collect them like
Pokemon
like dragons on your horde.
Dragon.
Can we give Banes? Can we give Banes?
You want to give me Banes? I'll take an endless number of Banes. You
I
said
feel
that
bad.
before and then gave
I haven't
me
used
two
a
Banes.
single one.
No, I'm not giving it to you in my game, but in other games I'm not in.
No, that we're gonna have to do this because if not for Janelle, you'd all be dead, and that's fine. So can we get a Circe in the chat as well? Oh, we already did. I did it. Look at that. All right, let me redeem these real quick. We got a bless for Jason and a bless for Cutter.
Oh,
so
yeah.
An IRL bless. So anytime you want to do something, like go to the bathroom, submit some work, just roll a d4, add that to whatever you're doing.
Perfect.
Then you're good. So Janelle, is that 2? I was not muted. You shut your mouth. Fuck, I have to find the overlays. Here we go. Stream elements change their layout. I don't like it. So let me add those in. I assume that's 2 for Jason. And I assume that's because Jason is
I'm the
under
only
10.
I'm at 8. Exactly. Yeah. Under 10.
She's boosting you.
We have to stay at 10, everybody. All right. So, a couple of things going on tonight. The first of which is a giveaway. Let me click this so you can see it. Our wonderful friend of the community and fantastic creator and just awesome human being, Circe Victory. This is his new book. It is a fantasy adventure game book in the style of a choose your own adventure. It is Tomb of the Everstar Sisterhood. It is on sale now at his website. Let's drop another Circe in the chat real quick. Somebody, you can find the link to it. But we're also going to be giving one of these away. So all you have to do is do ! giveaway at any point in the stream. And at the end of the stream, we will be giving a copy of these away. We'll put you in contact with Circe and he will mail one of these out to you. I just got it in last week. I've not had a chance to sit down and read it yet, but I did get a sweet bookmark with it. So considering I basically use a Post-it note or a receipt or a ripped piece of paper or a gum wrapper for most of my bookmarkers, it's gonna be nice to have one. But the reviews have been fantastic and it's Circe, so we know it's amazing. Check it out, ! giveaway, and we will get one of these sent out to you. Very excited to read this. Probably we'll do this after stream tonight. What else? Let's turn this back on. Do we have anything else going on that we're not going to talk about?
Just Tomb of Mercy coming up.
Tomb of Mercy, hopefully we're planning it for the 24th. I would really like to make that solid so we can rep that to you guys more. So we will see about that sooner than later, solidify that date, hopefully by this weekend. I just have a couple of things to wrap up. Jason and I were working on the overlay recently, and let me tell you, it's a thing of beauty. I'm very excited to set the mood with that. You guys are going to have a good time while I kill you repeatedly. So that will be fun. And we'll talk about the rest later. Merkborg tomorrow, Thursday. All right, good night, everybody. So... what happened last time?
We tried to kill Beetle.
Well, yeah, we turned
Beetle
Beetle
tried to kill
into
himself, I think was
yeah.
part of it.
Yeah.
So we mummified our 13th level wizard and almost potentially killed him so that he can cast web. Basically, the long and short of it.
Once a day is a bonus action.
Yeah. So
you mummified him with
OP.
With embalmer's paste and shredded spell scrolls. Yes, risking his life and limb for web. So.
Yep.
And those watch.
And we all know we know that all mummies limp.
Yeah. So we have to cut his toes off so he limps correctly.
You gotta cut it. Yeah. So if anybody in the chat, before we went live, we were talking about ways to make him more a zombie or undead, more valid. So if you have any suggestions in the chat, feel free.
Yeah, actually,
give him a peg, give him a leg break. Yeah, give him a limp, give him I don't know, pull out some of his eye, like an eye. He and Victor can be twins.
There you go.
Be like the Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger thing.
Exactly.
We can do a little bit of everybody. We can cut out an eye. We can chop off his face. We can do a little bit.
We do have experience in removing our own body parts. So
we do.
And you have experience in removing the body parts of others, Cutter. So
I do.
We're kind of well-rounded on the bits and pieces section of the campaign. So to further kind of expound on that description of what happened last time, the party is in the city of Seawall, and they have been hanging out there for days as I try to force them into the Underdark. They are in search of the Archduke Avgost for a long period of time. He's been slipping through their fingers. They ended up needing to go to Seawall, which is in the Southlands, fix some problems for some people down there so they could have access to a book that will allow them to appear as Daracool when they go underground. They were then met by a past ally, Selvin, played by our wonderful Sissa22 in the chat, who told them that they had a benefactor, an unnamed benefactor in the Imperium that would like to see them succeed at what they are doing. He offered them a way into the Underdark via a magical key that unlocks a portal where shadow roads usually are, following those ley lines. Selvin told you a number of things. One, which was that the last king, Tandoril, is a potential ally if you're trying to get into the Imperium, and you might find him near Bugs. And two, I don't remember what two was.
The password was in Arabic.
I think
we're headed to the Pillars of the Underworld.
Entirely.
We're headed to the Pillars of the Underworld.
Well, yes. So, yeah. Let me just. I have notes in reds and blues and all sorts of things. What else did she tell you? Start here. Recap this by Selvin. That's about it. But as the session ended last time, she told you that the Ghoul Imperium has powerful arcanists. And the closest that she will be able to get you, and it is not an exact science, is somewhere near the Pillars of the Underworld. And to head to your southwest to try to find the Kobold city of Lilifor, which might be a good place to look. And she also told you to not disregard kobolds, especially in the underworld, then they can be quite useful. She then turned this key in a wall that opened a portal, and you all stepped through.
Awesome.
And that is that is where we start our session for tonight.
I left some breadcrumbs kind of incriminating Aja.
Oh yes, the person who you needed, who you struck a somewhat deal with, Farah Hijadi, one of the grave binders of Seawall. You were not too happy with that, even though you did get what you were offered. And yes, multiple nightmares and forged letters and disguised faces, turning allies into enemies. And we will see what happens when Farah Hijadi gets back from whatever vacation she decided to take instead of facing you. So, as we begin tonight's session, you have stepped into this glowing white light. And as you step out onto the other side, first and foremost, where is Beatum?
I believe he's mummified, and Victor was going to carry him initially until he's like recovered. And I think we shoved him into a bag of holding, right?
No, he's in the bag of holding
because he
That's
doesn't need
what
air.
it is.
He doesn't have to breathe. So
I forgot.
So yes, you mummified him. He doesn't need to breathe anymore, so you decided to just stuff him in the bag of holding. And who is holding the bag of holding?
no, I don't want that responsibility.
It's
I
gotta
think
be
I
Victor.
usually am.
It's usually Darion.
you?
Keep Brian by your side.
Yeah.
Because Brian's in there,
That sounds right.
Brian is in a wine barrel inside the bag of holding with Beatum.
Yep.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
It's a
So
party in there.
it is.
No, I'm
party.
Nothing could go wrong.
I'm tempted to jump in.
So as you step through this portal, you arrive near a greenish river sweeping through 6 massive white stalactites connecting the floor to the ceiling. The river moves rapidly and splashes water onto the ledge around the pool of violently churning water ahead of you. You are on this incredibly narrow ledge with water racing, splashing up at you. And looking at these 6 massive stalactites, you do believe that you are in the portal of the Underworld. Pillars of the Underworld, I'm sorry. Let me move you over.
Well, oh, picture. Awesome.
Disregard the light. It's the best kind of cavernous under area I could think of.
Okay.
But even as you're standing on that ledge, you realize there is very little room for you, and it is quite slippery. So slippery, in fact, that as the water continues to race by and splash up at your feet, they start to slip out from underneath you. Before you is the river, stalactites, various ledges, places you may be able to jump to, places you may be able to
Can I cast levitate on myself?
attempt to swim to. Let's see. Because making your way across the pillars of the Underworld will require a skill challenge. So I would like for everybody to roll me initiative, please.
Click on our token, usually.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I gotta. Sorry, I don't have my character sheet up yet. Give me 1 sec.
Oh, Jesus.
That's better. I'm happy with that one.
Oh, I get advantage. I always forget I get advantage on initiative.
Ooh.
Oh, I'll take that one.
I got a Bane from Source of Victory. And don't forget
Just
the
about as we're ready to
exclamation
go.
point giveaway for the book from Source of Victory. Thank you, Sursa.
We're about to go Temple of Doom, guys.
gonna happen.
We're short round. Oh, Annie.
He's
Annie's
in the bag of holding. He's in the bag of holding.
Short round is in the bag, baby.
Yeah. So, let's look at the order here. I have 4 people in the list. Are there only 4 of you? Oh my gosh, there really are only 4 of you. This is so
I can
weird.
roll.
Not
I can roll Annie,
Yeah,
but she
how
can
weird is that?
fly,
No.
so it didn't seem necessary.
No, yeah. No. Annie is fine. She doesn't count. There are 4 of you, which is honestly the least number of tokens I think I've ever had an encounter in this campaign. It is weird. What I'm gonna need from you are, let's say, 5 successes before you have 3 failures.
Mm.
Okay.
And let me turn this back on and move it. And you know the rules, but they're going to be slightly different this time. 5 successes before you have 3 failures. The DC is 18 for all checks. And if you want to give the next player in line advantage on their roll, you can attempt a DC 21 check. And no skill can be used twice.
So don't steal my deck skills, guys.
And
Yeah,
there's-
could someone use stealth real quick or something to get away from
Yeah.
this like plus 18 before we get too
I'm
deep into
I'm gonna
this?
sneak away from the slipperiness.
Yeah.
and we're just sticking to skills, Ryan. Like we don't even if we have water walk, screw that shit. Like,
You can
skills.
cast a spell using Arcana, but then you're the only one that can use Arcana as a
Okay, yeah,
spell.
we'll do that. Yeah, no, okay.
Yeah.
My Arcana sucks, but
Yeah. So the water is racing up, splashing at each one of you, starting to drag you towards the water. As I said, I'm laying at the scene. There are a number of watery ledges. It appears to be a little farther down and to the southwest, an area that would be much better for you to be in, an open area closer down to the water with what looks like a path heading out. There's a good chance the portal was probably shooting for there and missed and placed you on this rickety, watery ledge high up above the water. Terrain doesn't matter. If you want a ledge, you can jump to a ledge. What I want from you, and the DCs and everything might change slightly based on a good narrative for what you plan to do in addition to the role that you do. So this is one of the things that Jason's talked about where not necessarily narrative advantage,
Oh, gotcha.
but maybe a little narrative bonus for attempting cool shit and telling me how cool it is. Sylvester, what cool shit are you going to do as your feet start to slide out from underneath you on this watery ledge, the river racing beneath you?
Is this initiative order, right?
Oh, no.
I'm not first.
Let's put this in descending order. Cutter.
Okay. So, how far is this ledge, this dry ledge? Is it quite a bit? Is it far away, or is it something I could attempt to jump to without
It
dive
would take,
bombing?
no, it is a distance away. It would take
Okay.
multiple actions and stuff to get you there. You couldn't just say, I leap to here to there. So it's
Okay.
going to take multiple, as a party moving forward to kind of get out of the treachery that you find yourself in.
Got it. Okay. So, I'm actually going to take out 2 of my daggers, and I'm going to leap to a. I guess you said there's dry ledges everywhere, right?
There's dry-ish ledges. There might be slightly larger ledges that might be getting splashed like a little bit less.
Okay.
If you would like there to be a dry ledge, just let me know how you get to the dry ledge. Or there's a cliff face behind you, beneath you.
And you mentioned there was these stalactites, or right?
There
everywhere?
are massive stalactites. There's 6 of them. A distance away, you see them. They're not something that you could really get to. It's just a feature of the area that you realize this is probably why it's called the Pillars of the Underworld.
Got it. Okay, so that's not anywhere I can get to. I mean, really, I guess if there's... And how far down below is the water? Or is it just rushing? 30 feet? Okay.
30 feet, rushing, splashing high enough for it to, like, splash some water up onto the ledge that you're on.
Okay. Let's see. I mean, I feel like all I can really do is... Oh, I do have... Is it... How do you say piton again? I always get it wrong. Piton?
Python?
Python?
Yeah.
Oh, it's python.
It's a piton. It's a piton.
Yeah, I really don't have much. So I guess what I want to do is have both daggers in my hands and attempt to, I guess, leap down, trying to hopefully find some earth, dig into it, and like kind of just peg walk my way down, I guess.
Are you using your pitons?
Yeah. I'll use those. Sorry. Yeah.
So you want to climb down the wall face, and as you kind of go over the edge with your pitons and slash one in, you look beneath you and you do find a wider ledge, kind of more inset. When you first look down, you couldn't see it, but as you go over the edge, you see it's pushed back, and it sticks out far enough that the water's splashing underneath it, not over top of it. And you feel like there's a ledge beneath you that you could get to that at least temporarily will provide you better footing for where you're currently at. So for climbing, I want an athletics check.
Oh, that's not my best. It's not bad though. All right, can I bless this or no?
You absolutely can, and I can absolutely bane it, which I absolutely will.
Okay.
No. I assume you were just going for the DC 18.
Yes, of course.
So you got a 20.
I got a 20.
So I need a 3 or higher for you to fail.
Yes. Ah!
So as you are kind of making your way down with these pitons, you hit one in and the rock just tears out from underneath you. You're actually currently dangling about 10 feet down from the ledge above you and about 10 feet above the ledge beneath you, just hanging as water's splashing you, just doing the whole like Tom Cruise and he's climbing the rocks and he like turns around towards a thing, if you know what I'm talking about. That's where you're currently at right now. And that is one failure. Dariana, as Cutter pulls out his pitons and starts going over the ledge, what are you doing?
So I just have to get down?
You can kind of narratively describe whatever you want. And I'll just kind of help build the world the way you see fit. So as he climbed down, there happened to be a ledge beneath him. What would you like to attempt to do? You know there is a ledge beneath you, so if that's something that you would like to go for, you could, or you could attempt something else.
Yeah. Man, I can't really persuade like a rock to to move under me. Okay.
Can't quite, no.
No. Let's see. Does it look like there's been any like life forms here?
In what way do you
like
mean?
any animals or people, like the tracks or anything? Any like
so
sign
you're
of
on
life?
an incredibly narrow ledge 30 feet above a raging river. You don't see any footprints where you're at right now. There's probably fish in the water. And dry land is a distance away.
Okay. Is there any way to jump down?
Just
No,
jump.
I want to climb down, and I want to try to like identify hand and footholds as I make my way down.
So you want to carefully climb.
Yeah.
By doing what? What check are you trying to go for here?
As though a survivalist might, you know? Perhaps.
As though a survivalist might, perhaps.
Yeah.
So Cutter just kind of, grabbed the pitons and just jumped off the edge and just started making his way down, not really checking for the rocks, just relying on his climbing ability. You look over the edge, see where he is, see what kind of hold he used with the pitons, and you're trying to plot out your course down a little bit more carefully. So go ahead and roll me a survival check. Are you going for 18 or 21?
18.
And I'm gonna bane the hell out of that.
And I'm gonna bless the hell out of it.
All right.
Wow.
So it's currently an 18, which already passes. So, as you're...
Oh, I see.
Well, minus my bane. You could roll your bless too, because that's going to be marked off.
Okay.
It's 8 for me. Oh, no. Sorry, Jason. I almost took one away from you. So what was your total?
What is this? 23?
23.
23, good job. You could have got the advantage for the next person. So that is 1 success and 1 failure. So as you kind of like actually lay down on the ledge and look down and see Cutter kind of dangling there, you plot out, you see some dry areas, you see some big, large holes beneath you, and you make your way down. And as you start to go over the edge and climb down, you just kind of look at Cutter dangling there, trying to get his piton back in, as you just casually walk down this much rockier area to the side that seemed much easier to do. And you find yourself...
as I go down.
I don't see it.
And
your face is kind of like askew.
Right. Oops.
Yeah, Atticus is a little tilted. Like, so you find yourself on dry land. That is 1 success and 1 failure. Sylvester.
Okay, so I see Cutter start pitons climbing down.
Yep. Pulls out the pitons and just tunk, 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 tunk. Yep. Dariana just kind of leans off the edge. You see her kind of calculating, kind of looking a little bit, and she just goes right off the edge, and you see her just disappear, kind of climbing down.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of try and crouch down and investigate to what the path Dariana took and try and follow her path, because she seems to be doing pretty well.
Yeah. We're already all three doing this. Is 2 people have climbed down. Let's come up with a little bit different idea for this than...
How long can I hold my breath and before I go out?
In D&D, I guess it depends, but I would say it depends on the impact into the water as well, whether you keep your breath or it rushes away from you into the icy water.
I'm not talking about water. Okay, never mind.
You want to jump into the bag?
Yeah.
The bag is currently like 20 feet beneath you on a dry ledge.
All right. So, in that case, what I'd like to do is, oh man. So, I want to try and, because I know I'm about to slip, so I don't have a lot of time. So I want to try and, I don't know, what this would be, but like grab on, like see if there's a handhold near me to just give me a little stability, so that I can kind of cast levitate. But I'm thinking less Arcana, more sleight of hand, or something along those nature. No, am I reaching?
Arcana spells will always be Arcana.
Spells will always be Arcana. Fuck it, I'm gonna cast Arcana then. It's horrible for me, but let's do it.
All right. You know I'm gonna bane it.
I have to bless it because.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna fail.
Oh wow. What?
Come out.
Doesn't matter what I was going for, I would have failed.
You got a 3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, might as well roll your bless to see what you get.
Yeah.
Plus 15. Roll a 15. You can do it.
Yeah, roll a 15 on your d4. You got this.
7th. Okay, I did it. Just kidding.
Nice. It's an 18 to pass, so you still fail by 1, even with cheating. So as you kind of grab onto a little rocky outcropping, as you feel one foot kind of slip out from underneath you, you begin to try to cast this spell, and your second foot slips right as you're about to let it go, and you're just able to grab onto those rocks and grab your other hand on and pull yourself up and hold on just at the edge of the ledge and get a foot back on, but the spell dissipates out of your grasp before you're able to cast it.
Okay.
That's 2 successes, or 2 failures and 1 success.
Victor.
Victor.
This is Victor's specialty. He is built very much for athletics and survival, both of which have been used. And Arcana also gone for water work. So very good. So Victor kind of in his mind, like he's having a flashback to the Marguerite. And like, I'm pretty sure there was some crazy shit in the Marguerite, like on a river. And he's also having a flashback a little bit to childhood. And like, he was raised by these crazy ass gnomes in the Carib. And like, they had to get some horses, some of his brothers, across a raging river. And he realizes he has not packed rope for this venture, but he's watched Cutter almost kind of biff off the side. Saw Dariana like using her intelligence, and he knows that's not his strong suit. And then he sees Sylvester or whatever his name is cast some spell. So he reaches down and kind of whips across his red sash in the middle and pulls out like a red, it's a whip sash, but I'm hoping he can use it kind of as like a 10-foot piece of rope almost. And it seems to me that people haven't gone too far from him yet, if that's fair to say. And he uses thaumaturgy to kind of make his voice boom a little bit because of the rushing water. No one can hear him. And says, everyone, grab onto a rope. We will go together. If we go down, we go together. And he's kind of in his mind, he remembers like having these horses tied together and kind of getting them across a river back on the Ruthenian plains. And so I'm hoping that he can use either animal handling or I guess sleight of hand or performance or any of those to kind of get this out here and kind of get everybody connected together.
Okay. Animal handling's not quite gonna do it.
Okay.
Sylvester's on the ledge with you. Cutter is hanging from the ledge below you. Dariana is safe 20 feet down beneath you, and you have a 10-foot rope.
So me and Sylvester, I guess.
So you want to latch onto Sylvester with this rope. I'll give you, let's call it sleight of hand, to just quickly kind of lash out and snap around him and kind of pull him in closer from the ledge and tie him off to you.
Okay. Not sure what happened there, but it must be. Here we go. Okay, it's not terrible. And I'll bless and bane, etc. Let's do the blast first. Oh, there we go. So we're at -2. Slide it here. There we go. That's a fail.
Oh man.
That's the third failure. That was a quick skill challenge, guys.
Very quick, yes. But my first 3 choices were used immediately.
It's
That's
been
great.
a while since we've done them, so out of practice and at your level, kind of bumping up that
Don't try this at home,
the
kids.
difficulty. Yeah. In future skill challenges, you guys can talk a little bit more and kind of coordinate who wants to do what. But as you kind of whip out with your sash and snag on to Sylvester, you actually end up knocking him off. Instead of grasping onto him, you almost whip him like with a wet towel, right as he's getting his other hand on. And you do actually like grab him, but as you do, your feet actually slip out from underneath you as well, and you tilt backwards off the ledge and drag Sylvester with you. As Sylvester is falling through the air, he's waving his arms, hits Cutter, knocks Cutter right off the wall just as he's getting his pitting on. And as you continue to fall, the only thing beneath you is a ledge where Daryana is at. And all you see coming down on you is Victor, flat on his back, right at you. And your only reaction you can have is to just dive out of the way.
And
Cutter goes into the water.
Oh.
Daryana goes into the water. Sylvester goes into the water. Victor bounces off the ledge, rolls into the water. You all plummet into the raging river beneath you.
Can he use water walk now?
You can't even catch your breath to cast a spell. You tumble across rocks, finding it difficult to keep your heads above water. Those of you that need to breathe struggle to do so. After what feels like an eternity, you all wash up on the rocky shore you saw beneath you, farther along, seemingly beyond the pillars of the underworld. And each one of you takes 23 points of damage.
Ouch.
As you drag yourselves out of this rocky rapids, battered, bruised, bleeding, and barely breathing.
Nice.
What kind of damage?
Bludgeoning.
Oh man. So far off to a good start.
Just using up some of those blesses and banes.
Yeah, baby.
I can't. I'm a charisma-based character. I can't deceive the fall
And me too.
or persuade it or whatever.
Well, so now I know how to get you guys damage. Instead of combat, we'll just do skill challenges and you'll all fail.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So
You think I fell, but I really didn't.
just disguised as something else, plummeting down into the water.
All right.
So you all find yourself on this kind of rocky path. There's still the river running next to you, but it is kind of beneath you and off to the side to your right. The path seems to head in a direction away from the pillars of the underworld, but at least as of now, you don't know what direction that is actually in. I do have something we'll give you a little bit of a preview of right here. It'll be, I mean, it's best to zoom out and then zoom in. You'll see a very, very small.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys were kind of basically like up here-ish, if you want to imagine a cliff on the river and the water and stuff. And you guys are currently here.
Okay. So we fell. You said we fell down this thing, and we're like right here. Oh
Yeah, you
keep
fell
using the primary
down.
pointer.
Yeah,
Okay.
roughly. Yeah, here-ish.
I'm gonna
The
climb
river.
onto the bank
Yeah.
and take
Yeah,
a
so-
look around.
Yeah. Okay. As you look around, you find yourself in for you what appears to be pretty familiar territory. It is dark. Anyone unable to see, humans, sees nothing. There was a little bit of scattered light in the Pillars of the Underworld area where it looks like maybe high above there was water filtering down into the water, kind of bouncing around, those kind of reflective surfaces, enough that you were able to at least make out the ledge and the places around you. But now that you've swept deeper into these kind of cavernous spaces, it is pitch dark. You all
Dariana.
are, as you appear to be. Yeah.
Dariana, I cannot see. Are you there?
Yes, and I'll reach out and touch him.
I think Selvin said Underworld, small place. Perhaps good time before I kill us all. Use that book so I can see at least before we perish.
Yes. Let me quickly remember what I'm supposed to say.
Do you have dark vision, Dariana?
Yeah.
Literally everybody but the human.
And the one guy that used to cast it on me is in a bag, mummified.
So if I look around me, can I tell like what direction it looks like we're supposed to go in?
Right now, you see water behind you, water beside you, and kind of a rocky, cavernous path heading out in front of you. Cutter.
Do you know how
Jinx.
you owe me a Coke? Cutter, do you happen to know how close we are to where we need to be?
I don't know, Ryan. Do I?
I don't know, Cutter, do you? How far would you say, when you were a member of the Ghoul Imperium, do you think that you were well traveled? I know you were an Imperial hunter.
Yes, but that was usually to go to the surface to get humans.
Right, not necessarily.
So I would say probably
go.
not to go to the depths of the underworld. I wouldn't think.
Gotcha. Maybe a general gist. Why don't you roll me a history check?
Oh, beautiful. And I'm gonna bless it.
Sure.
Okay, so far so good. Let's see what I get. History.
Oh yeah.
Not bad, not bad. 18.
So, on at least one of your trips, you came at least near enough to the Pillars of the Underworld to get a general kind of gist.
Okay.
Never been here before, but you have at least seen the outskirts of Lilifor. Not from this direction, but from a different direction. You do know that there are a few bodies of water in the Underdark, in this area controlled by the Ghoul Imperium, but only one real river. It's called the Falling River. And it leads from the Pillars of the Underworld down to Lilifor.
Okay. So we're going in the right. We're falling in the right direction.
Yes, it's been some time, but I know where we are.
Would you say it's a good time for us to become like you?
Well, Lilifor is very near,
Okay then.
so perhaps.
Isbe Kadam. Or
Do we,
toes.
when we look at ourselves, can we tell that we look like a ghoul, or just other people perceive us as that?
So a little bit more than just saying the Arabic word for toes, Dariana. You have this book.
Mm-hmm.
Let's show this book once again. Here you go. Anu Akma's Book of the Hungering Dead, and deep buried within this pages, you, using it, have the ability to cast this ritual on your companions. It takes 10 minutes using the command word to initiate the ritual. So as you're kind of on the banks of this dark, cavernous area, water still kind of rushing by you, but safe, battered, bruised, but safe, and you pull this book out of your wet bag of holding, what does this ritual look like? And what does it do to your companions?
I'm glad you asked. We're all going to sit in a circle. We're going to take off our shoes. We're all going to interlink toes. And we're all going to say Isbe Kadam together. And then a glowing light will start emitting from our toes. And we will slowly become Daracool from our toes to our heads.
You can tell Sylvester's not happy about this at all.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. But I don't have to like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times, friends. So as you do this, with your companions kind of guiding you, you blind human, to interlock your toes.
This, by the way,
he doesn't need to be.
Yeah, I don't have to be. I'm good. I'm turning I turned my back the second they took their shoes off. I'm like, oh god.
And the question I was going to say, the question is, do you pull Beat him out of the bag with his little toesy woesies and get him in on the
he's already mummified.
That would appreciate this the most, though.
Yeah, but we still want.
So he's
mummy. We want to go Daracool, right?
That's up to you guys.
I think so. I think he should look Daracool.
I mean, was there a point in mummifying him if we're just gonna make him look Daracool anyway?
To give him web, of course.
You're right.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, I guess I'll take him out of the bag, and I will start by interlinking my toes with his.
All right.
Oh my god.
It's like we're kissing,
right? I think this requires a roll. I mean, he has to have tiny feet, right?
Well, Dariana's probably the smallest ones amongst you. Yeah.
Is this like a sleight of toe roll?
Yeah, it's a sleight of toe roll. Anyone with this toe stat. Let's all just roll an additional D6 and see what your base toe stat is, and we'll just use that for rolls going forward. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
God. Jesus.
So as you pull your little mummified friend out of the bag, you all interlink toes. This light emanating from your grasps. Over the course of 10 minutes, the light slowly traces up you, and as you do, your flesh turns more like cutters. It's a dark kind of bluish green leather almost. Victor, as the light is slowly tracing up your body, you see just a bit more and a bit more and a bit more. And once the line hits your face, you see it's still dark. You see in black and white, but I do believe you have 60 feet of dark vision now. Let's all not forget dark vision is still disadvantage on checks. It's not just pure normal light. It's still dark. But you have assumed a ghoulish countenance, and so all of you know what this is. Again, it basically works like the disguise self spell. You look like Darrakul, which is it's a distinction. When ghoul fever, Cutter, you would know this, is passed on, you can end up anywhere between a ghoul and a Darrakul, with a number of levels in between, the peak being Darrakul. So you are at the top of the ghoulish food chain, disguised as Darrakul.
You hear that, guys? Top of the food chain.
It will last for 24 hours. You have advantage on saving throws against non-magical toxic gases, and you are immune to Ghast and Darrakul's stench trait. Kind of immune to it by now by spending so much time with Cutter anyway.
The ghoul stank.
Yeah.
Your stank.
Ghoul stank. And thank you, Jax,
Yeah,
for
thank you,
blessing
Jax.
Cutter. Oh, you gave him a bless for having to deal with this, but nothing for me that has to put up with.
Or me.
You asked for it. You asked for it, though.
Turn into that.
Yeah.
You forget the fact that we've been hanging out with this stank without protection from it.
So while this ritual is going on, I'm taking off my my Atticus mask, and I'm cutting a strip off my cloak and wrapping it, kind of covering my missing parts on my face. So kind of like cowboy style, So I look Darrakul, I guess, from like the nose up, essentially, instead of wearing the mask.
So the party, weeks if not months ago at this point, caught a very distant kind of view of what was beneath your mask. But as you pull this Atticus mask off and pull a bandana up, what do they really see beneath that mask?
Oh, well, I was gonna do it before, but if you want to rule it happening. Yeah, while they were doing their little toe thing, I was just
okay.
doing that.
Never mind. So, well, as you turn back and you just have this bandana, is it just, still cloak over and basically you just see your eyes kind of piercing through?
Pretty much. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. So, as you guys finish your toe stuff,
I go to the river and put my feet in the river and kind of scrub them vigorously.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get the stank off though once you're.
No, I know, but just holding toes with whoever the fuck I was touching toes.
Everybody, touching you, touching me, So, toe stuff happened. You're all quiet and slightly ashamed. And as you continue your journey, you all look like Darrakul or are Darrakul. What are you doing?
I look to Cutter and I say, I've been many people, many races. This is my first time as a Darrakul. My apologies. And then I just keep walking.
You don't know what you're missing.
All right, so I'm going to head. I believe. Did you say it was southeast, southwest?
Southwest.
Lilliford?
Yeah.
South Lilliford?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna take, I guess.
Yeah. You kind of realize there really is not only one direction on the path you've chosen, which is southwest, kind of following this falling river.
Okay. Wait, you said this one, right? Pretty much, or this? I guess this is the river.
If you continue to follow the river, and your sense of direction on the ground is probably better than everybody else's, since you did spend a considerable amount of time here. Now that you have southwest kind of imprinted in your mind, you kind of get a sense of your directions within the Underdark.
Okay. So as I follow this river, is there like just a bank that we can walk down, or is it filling the cave?
No, so it's kind of running off to the side of you. The main path that you're on kind of takes up the majority of the cave, and the river is kind of below you down on like a rocky bank. Sometimes it's a little higher, sometimes it's a little wider and a little bit narrow for you guys.
Okay.
Sometimes it disappears completely underneath or around maybe like a large structure, but generally always comes back. So for the most part, you are following along the river.
Okay, I'm gonna take the lead then.
Okay.
And start heading in that direction.
We're gonna let you take the lead.
All right.
So, yeah, I'll follow Cutter.
Do we put Beatum back in bag?
Yeah, I think we should put him back.
Just for safety.
Yeah, it's just when he wakes up, when we take him out, he'll fit in.
Put it in. Yes.
Is there any description of what it's like inside a bag of holding? Like what the experience would be like, I wonder? Like, is it literally you feel like you're in a bag full of like a Santa Claus bag, or is it like?
Well, I guess it
like
it depends. So it's definitely it's an extra dimensional space. And the way bag of holdings work are it's not like you open it up and see the stuff in there. If you open up a bag of holding, you just see an empty space. In order to withdraw something from a bag of holding, you stick your hand in, think about what you want, and then it just kind of enters your hand and you pull it out. So I can only imagine if somebody is actually in a bag of holding, and you've killed people in this bag of holding before. You've killed a gnome in this bag of holding before. I imagine them to kind of just be in like a dark blank void.
So he's like eternally hurtling through space like an astronaut who like became untethered or something.
His little toes now just like dangling in the nothingness.
Yeah. He's just like screaming, Victor!
Yeah. When he finally wakes up, yeah, that's exactly. But yeah, I just imagine him perpetually rising or falling or floating or turning or spinning or nothing, you know. And not having to breathe because there's no air. So I guess he really couldn't scream either. Yeah.
So how will we know when he's awake?
We'll just have to check it periodically.
I was going to say, does it matter? Do you care?
I guess.
So, as you're walking along this path, it's definitely not just like 20-minute journey in Lillithor. It's quite a distance. As you're walking, you get the sense that this is probably going to end up taking more than the rest of the day that you have, as in days in the underworld are really determined by kind of society in the underworld that just determines a set amount of time. But if you're by yourself where there is no light, it's pretty much rest when you're tired and continue on when you can't, unless you maybe like Cutter potentially has, you get a good sense of time, but you have been away from the underworld for I don't even know how long. As you're walking along, you continue on this path, and you come across one of those areas where the river has kind of left you. The path continues on, but a wall kind of comes up along the bank, and the river is kind of turned off. This has happened before. Generally, for the most part, the path always veers back. You get the sense that for most likely over who knows how many millennia, the river carved out this tunnel that you're in. But it still does occasionally weave off or again go under or even above where you guys are currently at. And as you're walking along, why don't you roll me a perception check? Who's ever in the lead?
That is me. I'm gonna bless it just because. Oh yeah.
Damn.
29.
29. So what is your actual marching order right now?
So I'm in the lead, and then I don't know who's behind me.
I probably was, just because I said I follow Cutter.
And then probably Darion, and then probably Victor in the back.
And it's not like you need to be walking in like an exact line either. It could be You know, you got those three friends that always walk next to each other, and the one that's always stuck behind them.
That would be Beatum, but he's in a bag.
And where is Annie doing all of this?
I guess just flying behind my shoulder. I thought about dismissing her, but I feel like she's got probably better dark vision than any of us. So I did not. But I think if we approach, if I see like the town in the distance or something, I will.
Okay. So you don't see the town in the distance, but with a roll of, I don't know, seeing God, you hear some shuffling ahead of you and some low kind of like conversation heading in your direction.
How tall is this place?
Where you're currently at, it's a little bit more narrow. I'd say maybe like 12 feet high. I'd call it maybe 10 feet wide at some points, maybe max 15 to 20 feet wide as the cavern kind of opens and closes.
So I'll dismiss Annie.
Okay. Are you guys stopping, moving forward? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna continue on.
Okay. So as you start to move forward, what you see in front of you is this.
Oh, there we are.
As you kind of turn this kind of corner in this cavern, about 25, 30 feet in front of you, you see a couple of armored ghouls with an unarmored ghoul ghast, you can't tell, kind of trailing behind them. The two armored ghouls, not necessarily trying to hide their actions, just walking, having a conversation. You have one quick action to decide what you want to do before one will look up and see towards you.
I actually want to does anything about them do I like recognize their status or what they might be doing based on my knowledge of the Imperium?
So
like
again,
like
as
a
you
patrol
turn,
maybe, or
yeah. So you get immediate sense as you turn the corner, this is most likely a patrol.
Okay.
If you would like to kind of really look them over a little bit further, that's going to give them an opportunity to see you. You have, like, as you turn, you see them for a split second before they see you. What do you want to do?
I'm going to actually keep moving forward like this is just completely normal.
Okay. So as you take another step forward, you guys can all control your tokens at this point.
Let's test out these disguises early.
Yeah. Right as you do, this ghoul here on the left kind of breaks off conversation, looks forwards and says, "Oh, and who are you? Let's see your papers."
Oh, fuck.
Is he talking in common?
Undercommon.
So basically the only one that understands what the hell he's saying is Jason.
Does anybody here speak Undercommon?
Victor speaks Jericho.
Okay, so you do.
Jericho, Undercommon, like the same stuff. It's like, you know, Spanish, and South American Spanish. Close enough.
Infernal?
Definitely not infernal. A little bit different, a little harsher. Cutter, Dariana, you guys hanging back or moving forward with the rest of the party?
Victor is waiting for Dariana.
Okay.
You guys are waiting in the back. So when he
said,
sorry,
let me see
when
your travel papers.
Travel paper. So I'm gonna like
so
start
you do know,
padding
Cutter,
my. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
You do know that travel papers are a thing in the Underworld and in the Ghoul Imperium. Basically, it's kind of like a little passport within the Imperium, you know that outside of Darakul ghouls, this is a Ghoul Imperium's land. Everyone that is not Darakul would need to have special dispensation to not be immediately eaten. And everyone that is Darakul is required to have some type of identification on them.
Okay. So can you let me know of a common beast that might be in the underworld? A common creature? That might be combative, or like a predator of some kind.
Anything that would be in the Underdark for the most part. I mean, I'm sure Midgard's slightly different, but I can't imagine there wouldn't be things like hookors and displacer beasts. And God, I have a whole shelf of it. Let me just start reading it off. Carrion crawlers, giant spiders, otugs.
All right. Giant spiders sounds cool. I just needed something to tell this guy. And clearly, I'm still sopping wet.
It's been hours and hours at this point, so you might be a little bit drier than you were.
Kind of damp. Okay.
Maybe a bit if you're wearing a lot of baggy stuff.
We had an altercation with some giant spiders back. Lost my papers. All of us.
Every single one of you lost your papers, huh? Fighting a spider.
They took us into the river. Look at us, we're all beat up, smashed on rocks. Lost everything but our weapons.
I'm like, she's carrying a fucking bag. What do you fucking think I am?
She has a stronger grip than I.
Yeah.
But alas, no papers, sorry. Forgive me. I know the rules.
Roll me a persuasion, deception. Roll me something.
What do I got here? Let's do deception, and I'm gonna bless it. Because let me see my persuasion. Yes, definitely deception. Wait, was that me? That was me. 3. Okay.
So I also got a 3. Okay. So it's a flat roll for you.
Ah, shit. Okay, here we go. Oh, not bad.
Nice.
All right. Pretty well, and I am just chewing through my veins.
Dirty.
All right, so Jason
Did you take mine off too?
Yeah, I'm taking it off right now.
It's good to be home, Jason.
Used a bless.
I know, right?
As he gets a little bit closer, he kind of sees you a little bit more clearly and sees your companions a little bit more clearly. And you see him a little bit more clearly. He is, him and his armored companion are both Imperial ghouls, which are about 2 steps below Darakul. They are clearly like, part of the patrol, but there is still kind of like a hierarchy in the system. You get the sense that this interaction, once they realize that not only are you Darakul, but your companions are Darakul, it's kind of like they pulled over the kid of the judge a little bit.
Okay.
That's where they kind of get it, like,
nice. Perfect.
And then he's just like, sorry, little lords. Which is the common name for Darakul within the Underworld.
Okay.
Nice.
Little lords. Do they refer to each other that way? Like
Darakul are referred to as little lords.
Okay, gotcha.
Darakul to Darakul.
Probably not, right?
Drow! Finally, exclamation point giveaway works. We are doing a giveaway tonight. It says that every time we are giving away Sursa victories, choose your own adventure. Tomb of the Everstar Sister. Can we get an exclamation point Sursa in chat? So whether he believes you or not, saying that all of you fought giant spiders that just happened to only take your papers, doesn't really matter at this point because he realizes you're Darakul.
I don't understand the language, but can I kind of pick up their deference a little bit?
Why don't you roll me a perception check with disadvantage?
Disadvantage. All right, where am I? Perception. I'll just roll it twice because It's quicker and easier.
Ouch.
Did it come up twice or just once?
Yeah, twice.
No, it came up twice.
Okay.
He tried to
You
re-roll
could add
after the
them
one.
yeah,
He's like, maybe
you
they
could
won't
add
see the
them
one.
together.
Oh, wait. My perception's... Oh, and that's a red call? Oh.
Ouch.
So, can we get an exclamation point luck in the chat?
Yeah, here comes red card. Well, that sucked.
Dude, you love red cards, don't lie.
I'll take it.
You were feeling a little lonely. Green.
Yeah, I don't think I have one.
You don't.
I don't. I do now.
So as you're kind of squinting, kind of, you notice a little something different in their demeanor, but you're squinting and you're kind of like, you make this little gesture without meaning to, just kind of like looking and repositioning yourself. And you don't really realize that as this one's doing all the talking, this guy back here is looking over the rest of you. And you just made an incredibly offensive gesture.
I'm like Italian, like
yeah, without really meaning to.
Nice.
And you don't understand the words that are coming out of this guy's mouth, but he is staring at you. And Cutter, you hear, "Now who the fuck is that one? What'd you just say to me? What'd you just do?" And he starts like pushing in towards you. And then the guy's holding back. He's like, hey, it's fine. Listen, and he's dragging this guy back. He's like, no, what the fuck did this guy say to me? What did you fucking do? And at this point, he's actually in your chest and like poking you with a metal finger, screaming in your face.
I'm going to,
yeah.
I can,
here we go.
Drop voices in people's head. And I think, let me double check. But I think we don't have to necessarily share a language.
Just so you know what this card was.
Yeah.
Nice.
The next person you interact with takes an irrational disliking to you.
Oh, this is awesome. I'm pushing that button anyway, so.
So he cashed it in immediately.
Yeah.
That's
He's
great.
right there.
So yeah, it doesn't have to understand any language, so I can telepathically communicate with it.
All right.
Him or her.
So his
Well,
buddy
that
is
language.
they're
So
both-
I'm just gonna say to him, "You're going to want to back off right now, or you're going to be dead." And that's all
and he just hears this random voice in his mind.
in his mind.
Yeah. This just infuriates him farther, and you get a double-handed shove back before his friend is able to drag him away. And his friend, we'll say purple guy is the guy that hates you. For no reason, maybe a perceived slight, and he hates you. This guy is dragging him away, and he's just saying to Cutter, who was in the lead, just pay the 5 gold each for not having your fucking papers and get the fuck out of here. I don't know what's wrong with this one, but just it's 20 gold and go.
So I'm gonna drop a voice in Cutter's head. Can I kill him?
Can I respond to that voice or no? I can't.
No,
Right?
but you can nod.
I'm gonna shake my head.
No, shake
Yeah,
or
we-
yeah.
No,
No, shake. Okay.
we don't. Let's not bring the fucking house down yet.
All right. I kind of stand back. I don't know what his problem is.
He's actively like keeping this guy like kind of now like just pushed up, like shoulder on him, just like hand out. You know the fine. Five for little lords. And any of you that don't actually have your fucking travel papers, didn't get eaten by a spider, make your way to the naming shrine, do the ritual of rebirth, get your fucking papers, get good.
Ritual of.
We'll address
What?
that with her in a moment.
Yeah. Okay, so I will. Who has all the gold? I think I have some too.
I've got.
You got it? Okay. Yeah, I don't.
Or I don't have all of it. Let me see what I have on me. Hold on. But I spent some last time too. Oh, where is it on my
Yeah, where's coin on the sheet here?
Oh, I have no idea.
I took it off last time because I spent some, but
It's not in inventory.
Let me get to the character sheets. Cutter. It should be in your inventory actually. If you look, okay. Currency to the top right inventory. You click on the inventory thing. It says weight carried. All the way to the right says currency.
Okay. There
And you can
go.
like click that, and it'll say how much you got. You have nothing listed.
I'm not carrying any. Yeah.
Yeah. Beat 'em is the one that has all the jewels. It looks like, damn, Sylvester, I'm not gonna call you out on how much money he's got, but he's got some money in there.
yeah, I'll pay our 5 gold. I knew I did. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm loaded. That's about 50 too high right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
I'm loaded.
And minus our 5 each, and there's 4 of us, so another 25. So that should be 75 less. So.
So you're digging into your bag, pulling out 20 gold. I assume it's various surface currency. You slap it, you hand it to Cutter. Cutter slaps it in this guy's hands. He looks at it, looks up at you and says, "You just come from fucking Fretlock or where? I don't give a shit. Just fucking go." And he's still like pushing this guy into the wall and just like pushing you guys back.
Non-verbal communication, like.
Yeah. The ghoul over here just kind of like moves out of the way as you guys push through, but like tongue is out, like looking at you guys, like trying to be scary. And as Sylvester walks by in his hysterical form, the guy in the back spits and almost hits you right in the leg. And if you guys are moving on, move your tokens and move on.
Yeah, moving on.
I will move on. I wink at him.
He hates you so much more already now.
Yeah, he does.
So just for my knowledge, even though we outrank these guys, they're still Imperial Guards.
So you don't necessarily outrank them within, let's call them the police force. The patrols will say are police. We can get into a whole thing about the over-militarization of the police, but let's not. They're not necessarily military, which you were part of the actual, like, the Imperial Hunters are kind of a branch of that a little bit. You don't outrank them, you outclass them. Does that make sense? Like a cop can still arrest a rich person, but a rich person's going to give them a bunch of hard times. They're probably going to get off a little bit easier.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So yes, these are basically ghoul police. The patrols are mostly ghoul police.
I think you put it perfectly when you said, like, we're like the kids of the judge.
Yeah.
Like they recognize this as.
Yeah. Again, you don't outrank them because you're not in the police, but you definitely outclass them.
They can arrest us, but there'd probably be a big hassle to do, and there could be trouble.
And a lot more evidence needs to be. You're basically like rich white dudes.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a pain in the ass, and they'd rather just not deal with it and let you go. So on that note, as you continue down behind you, you still hear, some cursing going on, but it starts to kind of slowly dissipate as well. And on that note, we are going to go ahead and take a little break. It is about that time. We don't have a baby beat 'em as a cue, so it's roughly 8:30. So we will be back in like 5-10 minutes. Thank you guys so much for being here. We'll be back shortly. Don't forget ! giveaway for the Tomb of the Everstar Sisterhood from Source of Victory, and we'll be back shortly.
back.
Hello and welcome back to the Adventure Archive. Sorry, I was banning some big follows. We are in the Underworld after finally leaving Seawall. The characters were bruised and battered as they failed to safely make their way out of the Pillars of the Underworld, which is kind of a rocky, tumultuous, rivery-ish area. After exiting there and making their way down a path towards the Cobalt City of Lillithor, they ran into what appears to be an Imperial Ghoul patrol. After doing their very doing a ritual to look like Daracool. So once they got to the patrol, they were able to, after some bad rolls, bad luck cards, and some potential interaction, were able to safely make their way past that patrol and continue their way southwest from the Pillars of the Underworld towards the Cobalt City of Lillithor. So that is where you are. You have continued on past, we'll say these guys are gone. We'll actually move them to a different layer. You guys are continuing along your path towards Lillithor. And it's a couple more hours as you guys continue to walk. At this point, it does feel like what would be the end of the day for you. But as you start to begin to feel tired, you find your way into kind of a more cavernous area again. And the river comes back that had been gone for a little while. You always heard it, but couldn't see it. And it kind of races back into view into this kind of large, open, cavernous area. And ahead of you, kind of standing by the water, you see a small figure.
Like half a metric dude?
A little bit less than half a metric dude. Can't quite make it out at this distance, especially with your dark vision. You know, it's not perfect vision. It's probably about 100 feet away from you. You just see it kind of moving, kind of almost like bobbing a little bit, right by the water.
Oh no, my precious. Okay. About how far ahead is this thing?
It's about 100-ish feet, 100, 120.
Okay. Okay.
But it's in the direction that you're going, and it's just by the water.
Okay. It doesn't appear to have noticed us, right?
It doesn't yet, no.
Okay. I'm gonna just keep moving forward stealthily.
Okay, why don't you roll a stealth check?
Okay.
But fucking doesn't matter. You're invisible.
Let's do it anyway.
I was gonna say at least it's not in that one. Yeah, 32.
There's my stealth flex right there.
Yeah. But everyone behind you is moving with you, and needs to roll stealth checks as well if they're trying to be quiet. And let's not forget Victor has disadvantage.
Victor has
I'm definitely gonna bane Victor.
Yes.
Yep. I'll bane Victor with 3.
Nice. Victor will bless, even though he knows he will fail already. Oh yes, 1.
Oh dang, I'm down to 4 banes.
I'm gonna bless too. Ugh.
Oh man.
Victor keeps it very even.
Victor
Wow.
gets a 10.
Look at that.
He gets 11.
Oh, because you blessed with a 1? Alright. You're not Andy, you're not Jason. Jess used 1.
11.
Yeah.
We are very sneaky.
Yeah. Not so sneaky. Not so sneaky. And as you're walking along, Cutter gliding like a ghost. Oh, Rongo! Hey, thank you so much for the Bane. Boom, back to 5. Thank you, Rongo. As you're gliding along, just disappeared, just gone. Like even the gods have trouble finding you. The rest of the party clumps along behind you. And this little figure looks up and looks towards you. And as it looks towards you, you catch a little bit of its silhouette. And you see that it is a kobold. It doesn't really move. Its tail swishes a little bit. And he just kind of stands there and waits. And as you all get closer, you see what appears to be this older kobold male. With these rusty brown scales that have gone gray in some areas. But he looks bright-eyed, and he looks like he's kind of catching every little detail as you guys get a little bit closer, and he doesn't appear to be afraid. And this is basically what you see.
Oh, nice.
Let me zoom out.
Grab.
I like
Are you
that
gonna
he's...
shrink it?
Oh.
Schmucks. No, yeah, I can shrink it if it needs to be. Yeah.
I thought he
it's
had
pretty
pictures
giant.
of us on his bracelet.
She said.
That's good.
Yeah, well, about that.
That's awesome.
All right. So you guys see this little full kobold.
I'm gonna approach him.
Hello there, friend. We're looking for Lilliford.
Yeah, it's that way.
All right. It's been some time since I've been to this part of the Underdark. How is it going there? Everything is as good as could be hoped of?
Oh, I mean, well, it's it's Lilliford, same as it's always been. You know, it's a city mostly built for us smalls. Don't know if you bigs will be, too comfortable there. But kobolds are nice to those that are nice to us. So.
What brings you out? Just going on a stroll?
A bit of a stroll, bit of a fish, just. That's about it. And what brings you here?
We have some business in Lilliford.
Oh, what business?
I'd rather not speak of it as we had just met. But nothing nefarious, I assure you.
Oh, no, you don't even look nefarious at all to me.
Hey,
You gonna say something? Oh, he's on mute. Mute's in the chat.
Oh, mute's in the chat.
Get some mutes in the chat.
Mute's in the
trying to
chat.
recall the
How ironic is this? I'm the only one who can talk to anybody. Well, I guess the kobold. What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
what's the
kobold.
kobold speaking? Is
Common.
he speaking the
Kobold
under...
right now is speaking undercommon.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So technically, Victor is able to understand it as well.
But when Victor heard him talk about the fish, he's actually like looking in the water. He's like super curious about it.
Yeah. No, there's definitely fish in the water. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to Victor and kind of. What was the kobold king that we helped back in Zobek?
Gosh.
Oh, so you've met a kobold king, have you?
King, I believe his name is King Cragclaw. Koto Cragclaw.
And the kobold has actually switched to regular common.
Ah.
Oh, nice. Yes, Sylvester.
Yes.
King Koto Cragclaw.
Yes. You don't have much of an undercommon accent there, do you, friend?
I just shrugged.
An interesting bunch.
Were you going to ask him something? with
Oh,
you
maybe
without
no.
the undercommon accent.
Me?
Yes.
No. I was just talking to Victor.
Okay.
Parlez-vous undercommon?
Ooh, so what are your names, friends?
You can call me Bob.
I've known a Bob or two in my day. The rest of you struggling to come up with names, are you? You are an interesting bunch.
Because I don't speak undercommon. I'm gonna.
Well, he's
again.
speaking common now, right?
Is he?
Yeah.
All right. And so I kind of try to mimic, and I'm pretty good at this. Cutter's accent. And I'm gonna say my name is Finch Killerin.
Wow, you even got the timbre.
Roll me a deception check. With disadvantage.
With disadvantage?
Yeah.
Deception. What do I hold for disadvantage?
Shift.
Shift,
It'll do
advantage, shift or
advantage,
control
but
or something. Yeah. It doesn't make a difference. It'll roll twice regardless.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Look at that! Wow.
Yeah.
Even just like.
Look at that.
And then
nice
I'm gonna point to the others too, and just say names. I'll point to Dariana. I'm like, that's Kalaza, and that's Voss.
Kalaza and Voss. Oh, those are interesting names for Daracool. My name is Jiro. It's a pleasure to meet you all. There's been many interesting bunches in the Underworld lately. You guys might be the most interesting, though.
So,
Hasn't been the first time we've been told that.
Jiro knows many things. It's always nice to help an interesting bunch. A bit
Hey,
of coin
note-taker.
always loosens lips.
I see. Well, you're in luck. We have some very, let's call it exotic coin you might be interested in.
I take it you're referring to me?
Yeah. Yeah, all the crazy coin you have that's like not here coin.
All right. I'll kind of do the the underhanded waiter tip kind of thing.
Zobeka currency. My cousin gets plenty of this, but gold is gold. What do you need to know, friends?
What do you wish to tell us?
Jiro knows many things.
Yeah. I don't know what we need to know.
Bob, I believe we are following our way to insects, yes? Looking for insects?
Plenty of
Yes.
insects. What do you need them for?
We heard that they are a good bait for fishing, yes?
You lie poorly, friend.
It's true. My name is not Voss. You know, Daracool use name of whatever it is they are talented at. So my name is Smasher. Are you fishing right now?
Well, shores, but I have never heard a Derricool that sounds like they're from the plains.
That is where I met my first Derricool, actually. This is true. What are you fishing for today, besides information on us?
Mostly fish.
Can you show me?
He, like, actually just sits down on the ground and like pulls his pack around and like reaches in and pulls out like a string of 2 fish. They're like basically completely translucent, a little bit of white on it. You just see the bone and these like red eyes kind of through this like almost transparent skin.
So Victor pulls out one of his coppers from, because he's got, I think, quite a few just kind of from the beginning. So probably there must be some sort of money that's used on the Ruthenian plane that's a little different than Zobek, I would think. And so he's going to throw him a few coppers for the information. And then he's going to ask him, what is your secret to catching fish? Can you live on this?
So he takes your coppers and kind of looks at them and laughs a bit and says, unless you're making wishes, boy, these are pointless. And just flicks them over the edge.
Nice. I thought
you're not here to talk fish. You're here to talk bugs, and I know what bugs lead to.
Perhaps you can help us then.
No, let's not speak in riddles anymore then. Bugs lead somewhere. What do they lead?
You tell me. Friend Derricool.
I just gave him a couple gold. And I'm like, you said you have information. My friend
Zero knows many things.
Yes. The insects. You obviously are more intelligent than I first gave you credit for. So, they lead somewhere. Where do we find them to follow them?
Now, there's a story we've told in the Underdark once or twice. The story of a slain emperor. Many say bugs lead to the last king.
At the end of your tale?
Is that what you're looking for?
We're looking for bugs and wherever they may lead.
There are Darrow in the Underdark that may lead you in the direction you're looking for. There's a cult of them here that worship what once was. They are all insane, though, and might kill you before they help you, but they know.
When you say here, you mean Lillefor?
Oh, in the Underdark, my friend. There are no Darrow and Lillefor. Lillefor is for us little ones.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It seems like a very broad direction here.
When you say they worship what came before, what does that mean?
The last king, the fallen emperor.
And how do we find them?
That's hard to say.
And I only drop a couple more gold.
He just kind of like, and like sticks a foot out and just like casually slides him towards himself.
We'll say I've given him 7 so far. Let's figure that out.
Yeah. I know many Darrow enclaves are concentrated in the eastern part of the Imperium. They interact often with patrols and can be found as food for the Lord of Old Flesh in the Pit of All Flesh. There's bound to be at least 1 or 2 Darrow in the pit on any given day.
Bob, do you know? Have you been to this pit before?
Yes.
I don't think
Bob, have you been before?
Let me check with my DM memory. I don't have I? I don't think so. Or have I?
Pit of All Flesh. It is almost assuredly that you have been to the Pit of All Flesh before.
Okay. Then I tell Victor yes.
This seems like a good place to go then. Yes.
We've seemed to have lost our papers. You wouldn't happen to know where we might get some new ones? Fast track it, let's say.
You lost your papers.
That's what I said.
Well, there is an outpost in Lilliford, but they do not hand out papers that I recall. They might be able to direct you towards a place at will. I don't know where, though. A ghoul outpost, I mean. Some of your kind.
What's so funny?
Oh, no, nothing. Bob.
My undead mother gave me that name. Do you spit on her grave? Of double undeath?
Oh, Bob. I suggest you make your way to Lilliford, provision, find things you need, check with the outpost, and make your way towards your goal, friends. I have a feeling the Underworld is going to be even more interesting soon.
I start walking away. I give him a pat on the back though. Like, I've always kind of a sneaky little fuckers. I've always liked the kobolds. But I walk away. But in a gracious way.
Thank you for the coin, friends. You and you other big folk here. The kobolds of Lilliford know my name.
Thank you. What was his name? Hero?
Jiro.
Jiro? Thank you, Jiro. And I'm gonna slowly.
Yeah, following. Yeah.
They can. I didn't know if anybody else wanted to say anything, but I kind of feel like I'm not going to get much more out of him. And so, are we all walking towards town?
Very much.
Yeah, I've left.
So, Kata, what do you know of these papers? How do we get them? What's the deal?
Yeah, what do I know of this rebirth thing you were talking about?
The last thing you hear as you guys are walking away from Jiro, kind of just as you get out of earsight, is something you kind of heard before from Selvin, and you just hear this call out, "Be nice to them, and they'll be nice to you." So what you heard earlier from the patrol that you ran into, had a running into, is a thing that you're aware of. Ghouls go to the naming shrine for the ritual of rebirth. Basically, let me get to my actual notes and give you 100% correct information. Newly created Derricool can rise above their status as one of the Little Lords and moved up in the Ghoul hierarchy after they take an appropriate name. So new Derricools that are made can go to the naming shrine and pledge to a higher ranking noble, taking on a new name, take part in the ritual of rebirth, and then make their way up in the kind of ghoulish hierarchy. So what they said to you, if you actually in fact had papers and lost them, you can go to the naming shrine. But you also get the sense that for people that don't have papers, that might be a place to get them. You know that Jiro also told you that on the way to the city of Lilifor, the Kobold City, there is a ghoul outpost, and they might be able to give you better directions towards something that he is unaware of. Aware that you guys have papers or Derricool are supposed to, but not necessarily the administrative side of where you actually go get basically the Derricool DMV to get them correctly.
Okay.
So, can we either find a Derricool that has papers, or I don't know that we can all pass as Derricool in such a situation. Can you? My thoughts are, if we can get one set, whether it's for you or if we can find a Derricool that has papers and take his, perhaps we can forge a set for the rest of us.
So Cutter, you know that in the Ghoul Imperium, there's a kind of constant turnover of ghouls, iron ghouls, imperial ghouls, Derricool, things like that, because of the nature of ghoul fever. So again, if a ghoul bites somebody and that person survives, isn't literally just killed and eaten right there, they can succumb to ghoul fever on various levels. So there's a slow but steady-ish stream of stragglers from the surface from things like your Imperial hunts, where maybe someone got bit but was able to get away, becomes Derricool, and then kind of realizes there's nowhere else to really go except for the Imperium. So new Derricool aren't uncommon. New ghouls in general making their way down here aren't uncommon. There are also Derricool, or also varying levels of ghouls, kind of like it's a caste system basically, and there's the lowest level that ends up basically being homeless fodder. So ghouls and Derricool and various castes rise and fall and are replenished on a semi-regular basis. So as I said, new Derricool aren't necessarily uncommon. It's kind of like turning 16 and going to get your license for the first time.
Did Derricool, newly turned Derricool, speak Derricool or Undercommon?
It depends on what they learned in life. If you immediately become Derricool right now, it would be difficult for you to know the language right away.
All right. Well then,
so
and you know that there are Derricools. Yeah, there's gnome Derricools, there's dwarf Derricools, there's all sorts of different. It's anything that you know could walk and talk can be bitten.
Newly converted Derricool friends.
So are you gonna go by Voss and Bob and Chazaya or whatever?
Derricool's name? I'm just gonna go in like kind of dumb.
I can send you a Derricool name, naming stuff.
Yeah.
So the process, though, you said we pledge to a noble house.
No, that is one thing that you could do. That is one thing you could do. You can get new papers just by being a new Derricool, or you can basically pledge to a higher ranking Derricool to increase your status. It's kind of like...
Got it. Okay.
It's kind of in a very like loose way. It's kind of like moving up in a mob family, and you just take the mob's last name. You know, like you can just be one of the schmucks, or you can make your way up by pledging your name to a higher ranking one.
So Cutter
Okay.
never had papers, Jason?
Oh no,
I
he
would
most
assume at
assuredly
some
would've.
point I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you were an Imperial hunter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not only did you have papers, you had like status and rank and potentially property and a number of things.
You don't still have those, even if they're expired?
I don't
You're not
feel
a
like I
keeper
would have probably.
guy. Yeah, I wouldn't expect so.
Yeah, if I do have them, maybe they're in my room in Rodion's,
Right.
place or something. I don't know that I would.
Yeah. You don't seem like
I mean,
kinda
it
turned my
depends
back
on
it, yeah.
your exit, and if you feel
in
like
your
that's
hope
something
chest.
Okay, so the gist is that new Deracools happen all the time. They may not speak Deracool, therefore it shouldn't be out of the ordinary for this bunch to try to get papers. Got it.
potentially.
Okay.
And you could,
if you play your cards right and convince the correct people of things like that, then absolutely, it's not necessarily out of the ordinary.
Right. Okay.
All right. So do you think the best course is for us to play as newly converted Deracools? That would explain the language, give us papers.
Yes.
it would make sense, yes, Cutter, for you to be guiding the three of us.
I agree.
Perhaps
you
we go
lost
to this.
your papers. You're guiding us back. You found us. You were out in the world doing whatever the fuck you do.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a plan. Let's move on.
All right.
Keep
Look
heading. I guess.
Look for the ghoul outpost.
Yeah, exactly. Look for the ghoul outpost. I mean, we'll see if we hit that first.
So at this point, you've kind of walked away from this kind of open cavern, a distance away from where you met Jiro, the happy, helpful kobold. An NPC you actually got information from and didn't kill. Good job, everybody.
Yeah, I'm proud of that, by the way.
Yeah. So,
Hey,
you
we didn't
also.
kill the guards either.
What's that?
We didn't kill the guards either. The patrol guys.
Yeah.
We're on a roll.
Look at you guys growing up.
Only took
Realizing
13 levels.
I was gonna say you're in a very small bubble, without a way to flee. So
Yeah.
But even as you were kind of reaching Jiro, two things you got from that: a bunch of information, but also a lot of realization of your current transparency. So, coming up with a better plan next time you meet people could potentially be helpful for you. And it sounds like you have at least something brewing right now. The other thing is that you are exhausted. You are still battered. You are still bruised. Maybe some of your wounds have been bandaged, but you've been walking for hours. You're maybe mostly dry at this point, but you get the sense that if you continue to push, you'll be pushing towards exhaustion.
Okay. I guess I'll look around for somewhere to camp.
Okay.
And is that a common occurrence too? Just kind of like off the side of the road in the above world, you might find people. What?
Well, I was gonna say, aren't we just on the outskirts of the town as well, or no? Are we further away?
You didn't really ask Jiro how far it was away. But when you spoke to Selvin, if you do recall, she said it could be up to 2 days away from where you are, depending on what part of the Pillars of the Underworld you came from.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna look around then, see if I can find anything.
Yeah,
seems
you were
suitable.
just in a really big, beautiful cavern with a river and fish and all sorts of stuff. You left that area, and made your way out into kind of the tunnel-ish riverside walkway you've been on for a while. Why don't you roll me let's call it a survival check.
Okay. I'm going to bless it. Nice. Not
You're
rolling pretty good tonight.
What do we got?
19.
19. Look at you. So,
Nice.
unless you decide to turn and head back to the cavern, back towards where you last saw Jiro, you walk around for probably another 45 minutes to an hour, kind of looking for spaces. There's not a whole lot of different directions to go. But at one point, you do find what appears to be a small, kind of like cave, enclave-ish thing. You also find like a pit that has been kind of worn into the stone ground, with a lot of what appears to be charcoal in this pit, and kind of divots almost around it. You get the sense that this it kind of feels like a pit stop to you, that has been used over and over and over and over and over. One of the things with the Underdark, unless you're on some type of beast, if things are days away, you're kind of in a tube from one thing to the other. So camping will happen, and you are aware of this, if things are more than a day apart. You know that a lot of things are only a day-ish apart, because you don't necessarily want to be out in these tunnels at various times. I was going to say not necessarily being caught in the dark, because... And Sylvester gets a Bane from L2. Thank you so much. Change that. There we go. I need to change your names because I have your real names in here, not your character names. Eric, bless. Back up the double digits for Sylvester. Oh, and a Bane for me. Thank you, L2. Can we get some Banes in the chat? That'd be great. Back to 7 for me. So, you do find this small camp area. The other thing that you are also aware of is, with the appropriate paperwork, living creatures can be down here, but they usually come through Fretlock, and they usually stay in large groups, in tight-knit, and move from basically just like Fretlock to like Vandecool or things like that, with escorts and things like that. Occasionally, there might be someone who doesn't do that, but that is the underworld that you find yourself in. So you do find a small enclave. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna motion everybody over.
Yeah, we'll rest here.
That works for me. I assume we should have a watch.
Well, you're Derek Cool now, aren't you always watching? Or did the spell not work like that?
I don't know. I like that you found your sense of humor. So I'll go ahead and take first watch with Annie. And Cutter, obviously, because...
Yeah, I'm just doing my trance. Yeah, I'm always on watch. At disadvantage.
Gotcha.
And Victor will take second to watch. Fine.
Okay.
Take third.
All right. So you split the watches. And you know, Cutter, always, you know, present and awake. The rest of you laying, sleeping. Cutter, you're back in the underworld. How long's it been?
Oh, I would say years, probably. Like maybe 5-ish years, maybe. I'm not sure. Something like that. A few years.
How does it feel? What are you thinking? I know one of the last times that you kind of really thought about the underworld was when you ran into, let's say, a foe.
Mm-hmm.
When you were in the Margrave. and have since, realized a connection to the current path that you're on now.
I would
him wearing the
say-
livery of Duke Drago.
Right. I would say I'm pretty conflicted. I'd say that part of me obviously feels at home. It kind of reminds me of everything I've lost, but then I'm also very on edge because of I know the possibility of, what could happen just me being here. So it's this very just conflicted, I'm just, like I said, on edge. Kind of difficult to just completely settle down, I would say.
Gotcha.
Bittersweet, I guess.
Home, but a home you fled from.
Exactly, but like I said, it's also the fact that I feel like this is where I belong, but there's an imminent danger for me to be here. At least that's what I think, even though it's a very big place. I was relatively known in my circles, I guess. So.
And as watches are changing and your companions are kind of shifting, and you sometimes come in and out of this trance that you're in, you get a glimpse as some are rising and some are putting down, and you're surrounded by people you've been with now for quite a while. Currently disguised as Derrickul. That's going to wear off at some point. But when you met them, as far as, without putting words in your mouth, you could care less. The job was the job.
Mm-hmm.
When you see Dariana, when you see Sylvester, when you see Victor, when you think of beat him in a bag, how do you feel now?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm still, I have a charge, and I am still. Are you asking me, or are you just, are we riffing here? Like, are you are you leading me somewhere? Just out of curiosity. Oh, you're just asking.
No, so,
okay.
yeah, so this is,
no, we're not.
Again,
I'm not going to say the F word.
Yeah. It's been months and months with these people.
Yeah,
You're back kind of at home.
So I would say that I definitely have they've earned my respect for sure. But I do feel the pull of the Underworld, I think, still. Like, especially, like, it's never completely fled from me. So I definitely have this draw still to this place. And even though I have been traveling with these people for some time, and even though my life has changed since ever, I met Rodion, I still feel that I'm still at home most here, regardless of all of that.
Okay. So despite the anxiety and the stress of potentially coming back to a place that, you were here for some time and left for reasons that are your own, but you're back, and you're back with people that have earned your respect. There's the stress, there's the anxiety of being here again, but there's still that bit of a like coming home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I mean, to me, honestly, it's kind of, I think, I'm getting kind of pulled in two directions. So one direction is like, fuck it, I'm bailing. I'm gonna like find my way back. I'm gonna, figure it out essentially. But then again, the other side of me is that I have this drive to complete this job like all the others. That's just always been at the core of who I am.
Okay. So Cutter conflicted. That's where we're at right now, and for multiple different reasons. So as you guys are all switching your shifts through the night, there at one point, some people, some figures, continued past you, not stopping, stopping to see you. Nothing untoward happened with it, just the presence of others on a road. But you, as you're counting down hours as best you can with no sunlight, the night goes by, the period of time, the rest goes by unbothered, and you wake up refreshed. At this point, you have a couple of options. You're not quite sure how long a book has left. You know that if you release the spell early, you can wait 1 hour and then cast it again. And I know, Dariana, you are on the last watch before the rest ends. What would you like to do about that?
So it feels like it's almost 24 hours.
You have no idea. You could roll me with disadvantage, just a flat intelligence check. Most people in pitch darkness can't innately be like, feels like it's about 6.5 hours. But you could try to feel like a sense of it if you want to try.
What
it would be incredibly difficult. Just a flat intelligence check with disadvantage. There's no concentration, so you don't feel it starting to wane. The spell just happens and carries for 24 hours. Yeah. You can't really get a sense for the time. You know that you spend an entire day as Derrickul. You know that your rest has gone through Derrickul. You probably have between 6 to 8 hours, maybe 4 to 8, maybe, before it would just dissipate.
Maybe I'll go to Cutter and ask what he thinks. I assume he is better at keeping track of time down here. Maybe he knows if we're out of the way enough to where nobody would come upon us for an hour. I'm gonna, I guess, shake Cutter.
Yes.
I think the book's spell, is wearing low.
That's not good for you then, is it?
No. But we're all in this together, Cutter, remember. Teamwork. Do you think that I should...
I have a mask. It might fit.
Well...
Yes, I would cast the spell again.
So you would cancel it early?
I believe where we are is safe enough. Just keep your faces turned away.
Okay. Is everybody faced away?
No light.
Are we awake, or did you wake him during your watch?
I awoke Cutter. Nobody
You're on the
else
final watch, right? Aren't you?
Yeah. So my face is turned away, buried in my pillow. I'm sleeping.
Okay. Well.
So I'll shake Sylvester awake.
You're about to get prettier. Wake up.
Anything is prettier than this. No offense.
So we're waking everybody up?
I mean, it's the end of the night, right? If you're on the final watch, I would imagine like they've had a full rest, everybody. Right?
Okay, I guess if it's at the end.
Roughly. I mean, whoever had second watch is going to be woken up a little bit early. First watch is good.
Okay. So, I mean, you can tell them what you want to do.
Okay. I guess I'll wake up Victor as well. and tell them that I'm going to dispel the spell and recast it after an hour.
Right.
So as
stay
you
hidden.
Beat him out of the bag.
Yeah. So you dispel the spell. Everyone reverts to their form. Victor instantaneously sees nothing as all his dark vision flees, and he is in pitch blackness. The hour goes by. Yeah. The hour goes by. You commence your ritual once again. Toes touch, light flares, 10 minutes goes by, and you are once again Dercool, and you can see in the dark.
Am I the same Dercool as I was before?
Yes. Yeah, it's roughly just a variation on the form.
Okay.
Not like a new
Okay.
a new character every time.
Oh, so much prettier, Kata.
Yeah. So I assume you stuff beat him back in the bag and head along your way. He is still out, unconscious from the mummification process, still apparently recovering and allowing his body to fully undie before awakening.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess if everyone looks like they're ready, we'll start heading the same direction toward the hopefully cool outpost.
All right. So as you bundle up your possessions, you're now all dry. You're now all Dercool looking once again, and you head out. You walk for a number of hours, again, still basically following the same general terrain that you have been. It's this tunnel that mostly has a river next to it. Sometimes the river veers off, but you always hear it. Until you come to appears to be a large gate blocking off the tunnel ahead. The gate is metal, appears to be 10 feet wide and about 15 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
As you get closer, atop the gate on either side, you see some ghoul guardsmen. What do you want to do?
So you said it's a metal gate, but it's not like a wall, right? And these guys are standing.
It's completely blocking the pathway ahead of you. And at the top of the gate, like on either side, there's basically like a
little tower.
It's not quite a full tower. It's more like a little platform they can kind of see out over from.
Okay. All right. So I'm assuming this is the outpost. Are they doing anything? Are they looking at us, or are they just kind of?
Depends on how close you want to get.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna inform everybody where we are.
Yes, Qatar, and we will pretend that we are recently become Dercool, yes, and you are bringing us to get papers.
Yes.
I like this. Okay.
All right,
Sylvester,
so I'm gonna. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So last night I make conversation during 1 hour of total blackness, and if you would like later to speak Undercommon, I cannot promise exact pronunciation, but I can give you ability for 1 hour to speak the language if you would like, my friend. Later, let me know.
Who are you talking to?
To Sylvester.
Okay. Yeah, it may come in handy. I think for right now, as a newly turned Dercool, I should be okay.
Yes.
Down the road, that is something that could definitely come in handy.
Yeah. I like this.
I know you have that ability. Thank you. So I guess we're gonna go up to it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna walk up to it.
Non-stealthily.
Yeah, I'm gonna wave you guys like, wave you guys like you're kind of lost little children. You don't know where you're going, so I'm acting as your guide, basically.
Okay. So as you walk towards the gate,
Oh man. Is the gate? Sorry. Okay, I see where we are.
right here.
Got it.
Oh.
As you walk close, you see the ghouls at the top, and as you start to get a little bit close, one disappears. You hear some like, and you get the sense that there might be some type of stairs or ladder or something that leads to this. And then as they return, you see a figure stepping towards the gate from the inside. You know that this is an iron ghoul. This is basically in as far as the ghoul caste system, right below a Daracool. They're often in charge of military squadrons and things like that. You'd find them as like, sergeants and whatnot. And he kind of casually strides up to the gate. Hello, where's your papers?
Well, that's just it. Have some new blood, so to speak. Found them in an ambush. Lost mine along with it. Hoping you could help a brother out.
Only one smile. Okay.
As you get close enough, and the Iron Ghoul sees that you're all Daracool, and why don't you roll me a deception check as well? Deception, persuasion, whatever.
Got it. Bless, of course. Oh man. Okay, it's going to be deception. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so... Wait.
15.
15, okay.
15.
Why does it look like a 3? What did I get here?
I'm showing a 14 plus your 1 for your
plus 1.
Force.
Oh, it's the 10. It's the 10. That's what confused me, because I rolled a 3. Got it.
You lost your papers, eh?
Yeah, I know.
And these are all fresh Daracool.
Yeah.
Lucky bite, eh?
Yeah, can't even speak.
At all?
Well, they can speak their tongue of life, let's say.
God, they're fresh as fuck, aren't they? All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
can't you smell it?
You know where to go, all right?
Just say yes.
Yeah, all right, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, of course I know where to go.
Just make your way to the pit of all flesh. It's the nearest administrative office. You can get replacements for your papers, and you can get these ones named up, as they say.
Appreciate it. We'll be on our way then.
Well, the fine for not having your papers. It's 20 gold apiece, but you're all fucking little lords, so it's 5 each.
Of course, I know the rules. And lucky for me, we've one of our new recruits has a bag full of it. Get over here. Pay the man.
You
And I
motherfucker.
speak that in common.
And in your head, you hear, you motherfucker. And so I'll pay. So minus another. This is going quick, guys. Another 20. Oh, yeah. All right.
And you know, Pit of All Flesh is that way, Lilliford is this way. You'll have to pay again on the way out. You know that.
Well, won't we have our papers by then? I don't understand what he's saying, so I didn't say that out loud.
Yeah, of
This is
course.
not-
I know the rules.
Yeah. This is not the way to Pit of All Flesh. This is the way to Lilliford, which is where you were told to go find some information. But as you also remember, the Pit of All Flesh is where you might find some Darrow. If you, let's just say, if you, grease the wheels a bit, as they say, we might let you be able to pass the toll on the way out.
How much grease we talking?
What you got on you?
You, pretty boy, what you got on you?
No, friend. Newbies won't have what I want.
What are you looking for then?
Fuck you think I'm looking for?
I have no idea what he's looking for.
Flesh, friend.
Oh.
How long you been a fucking Derico?
Okay.
Well, I happen to have some good meat. Less than a day. Have a look.
And I'm gonna take out the food I got from that old man in Seawall.
That's the stuff, friend. How much are you giving him? You had 4 pounds.
I mean, what do I
You probably
believe?
would have eaten some last evening. Like
Sure.
you would need to
Yeah,
have
a
eaten some. So you got 3
so
pounds
let's say I got
left.
3 left. So what would I determine would be like a a fair offer in this case, being a Diricool?
Well,
Like
it
a
depends
day?
on what you consider 20 gold on the way out versus the
Oh,
meat you
shit.
got on you.
Okay, so
Keep in mind his ability to get it.
yeah, that's true.
Well, you see, this is hard to come by, so a lot of value and
No.
everything. How
Don't I
about
fucking know it.
this much?
And I'll just give him like a day's worth, like a pound, I guess.
No, friend. All right. You got 4 days to get back here before the toll kicks in. And I appreciate it. And he just like wraps it up and just like stuffs it anywhere he can and kind of keeps looking out behind him.
Okay. Cool.
Between you and me.
Of course. Again, much appreciated.
And he reaches forward, undoes the gate, swings it open. Keep to your left.
Okay.
And points you this direction.
All right, I'm gonna move that way.
Come on then, you fucking lackeys, hurry it up.
And I wave to my companions. All right, so I'll start moving over that way.
Yeah. So as you guys are all moving in, as you look, you see a number of other people kind of in this area. You see some Dericool over here, and you see some caves over in these directions. You get the sense that this is kind of where they stay for the outpost, and this kind of bottleneck is their way to see what comes in and out of Lilliford for the most part. So they're guiding you away from what appears to be their section of it. But you notice all you see are the 2 ghouls, the iron ghoul and these 2 Dericool. But you do see these other areas as well. So you're not quite sure who's all here and what's all here. You walk by a small pool of water coming down and two kind of haystacks on the ground before continuing to make your way out and around. Are you doing anything, or are you just going to continue past the outpost and move on?
Do these haystacks seem weird to me at all, or would I know what their use might be?
It's not necessarily a stack as much as it's just like on the ground.
Okay.
They're about bed-sized.
Okay, so I assume they're just bedding, most likely.
Most likely.
Okay.
Jiro had said that we might be able to get papers at the outpost, but that's not. He's just pointing us towards.
Jiro said he didn't know where papers were and to talk to the people at the outpost.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But the outpost told you
go to the pit.
The closest office is a pit of all flesh, and Jiro told you find Darrow, and you'll most likely find Darrow prisoners in the pit of all flesh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Convenient.
So it sounds like you probably have direction after you make your way to level 4.
Yeah.
So if you're going to continue past the outpost unabated, no tricky bits, no toe stuff, no nothing, you all make your way past these areas, past the bedding, past the Derricool, giving you kind of sidelong looks as you make your way out, heading back into these open kind of tunnel cavernous area, heading towards level 4, knowing it's not going to be too far from now until you get there. As you continue off into the darkness, that's where we will end our session for the evening.
All right. I know, Sylvester, you were itching to fight something.
No.
Always.
Can I kill him?
Can I kill him? We are going to wrap up our giveaway for the Tomb of the Everstar Sisterhood from Sursa Victory. You can't see this because green screen, but you can find the link to it right here. I will give anyone that's still here like 10 seconds. I'll end the giveaway. Then I will contact you and put you in contact with Sursa Victory so we can mail that out to you. Yeah. So we will call it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the winner of Tomb of the Everstar Sisterhood from wonderful, incomparable Sursa Victory is Silent but Ducky.
Oh,
nice.
Hey, Dexter. So Ducky, shoot me a message. I will put you in contact with Sursa. We will just get that sent out to you. Let's get some fucking music that's not this real quick. You will have this new adventure source book, Tomb of the Everstar Sisterhood. So thank you everyone for being here. Tomorrow, we will be playing what could be the last session of the current arc, our second arc, Gorge of Morkborg, DM'd by the wonderful Jason. Do you have anything to say about that besides that, Jason?
No, I think that's it. Yeah, we are planning to wrap it up because Janelle will be taking a little bit of time away, but I'm not going to try to rush it. Whatever happens, happens. If we need to extend it a bit, then we will. So please come around for that tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific. But yeah, that's all I got. And then after that, we're going to take a brief break. I think the idea is to, between Merkborg arcs, we're going to try some different games. So we're going to be rotating some stuff out. So expect me to be running a very different game coming soon. So.
And we haven't quite decided what that is yet. Are we going to talk to chat about what they want to see maybe in the Discord or what? Hi, Eric.
What the?
Or do you have some ideas for what could happen?
Jericho.
Oh, so I have actually 2 games in mind currently. The first one is Call of Cthulhu. The second one would be one I just picked up. So there is a film coming out called The Green Knight by A24 Films, and they actually created an RPG to go along with it. So I thought that might be a fun one as well. Comes out July 31st. So yeah, we're gonna talk about it. I think it's maybe between those 2 currently.
And then
yeah, the Green Knight looks awesome. Been waiting for a year for it.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get back to Theros on Monday. So you can always check us for that, especially for all those people who enjoy that magic is invading D&D. This is for you. I don't have an opinion, clearly. What else we have going on? Again, check out Source of Victory's new book. If you do not win it, it's still worth it. Please go snag that from his website. It is
we talking about next Wednesday?
Oh, next Wednesday, both Jason and Jess will not be here. So we are instead going to play... Oh, you fucking fuck.
We're going to play You Fucking Fuck.
It's a bittersweet game.
You fucking
New
know
game.
Happy birthday,
by
Tomato.
It's like one of my favorites.
I know. I love that game.
We are going to play...
It's invisible.
What's the word?
Drinking Quest. It's a fucking game about, and you adventure and drink. So
I'm the winner.
we are gonna play that next time. So there it is. Close enough. Good enough. We will see what happens with that. So catch us next Wednesday, drinking on stream, playing an adventure about drinking. It's really fun. Little preview of some of the stuff. I think, gosh, even some of the characters. What do we got here? I don't know. I haven't even taken out. Barghast Bartender, Citizen Cat, buying stuff in the shop. I know there's a barbarian who gets really wasted. Anyway, it's going to be a good time. We'll see how long the stream goes before I cut it early because we're all schwasty. Please come by here next Wednesday. We'll check that out. And then hopefully the plan as of right now is to do Tomb of Mercy. You're not going to see it because green screen. On the 24th. Oh, a little bit. On the 24th. And that will be potentially at 4 or 5 for 4 to 5 hours. We will start pushing that sooner than later. That is going to be a really good time. So come check that out. That's about all I got. If no one has anything else, we can go ahead and head into a raid. Stick around with us, check out some credits at the end, and check us out here tomorrow for Merkborg.
Yeah.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.